Good morning, Wilfred Bartlett. You're on the air, sir.
Good morning, Paddy. I hope you don't expect me to keep up to Yvonne Jones, because the old fellow would say she got to give the gab, eh?
She can go pretty good.
Yeah, I guarantee, yeah. Anyway, I'll blunder along, see what I can do with it. This was prompted by your interview with Tom Marshall last week, certainly, and the same day the question of the week was on, but I haven't been able to get on your line now. This is 4 days trying. Question of the week: should the PC party open up nominations? My answer would be, why should they? They got exactly what they wanted. They got a coronation. Ever since the PC party came back from Danny Williams right on up, there's never been a fight for the leader of the party. It's been done by a coronation every time. And you asked Mr. Marshall about it, and whether the deck was stacked, and he said no, the deck wasn't stacked. But I just go back to there's a piece of paper there last couple of weeks ago about Charlene Johnson's district, where they're having a nomination, and from each district, certainly there's 11 voters allowed to go to and vote for the leader, or whatever the case may be. And her aunt is on the executive out there, association, and her mother and her father and sister was all nominated for delegates, right? And she goes on to say, for us, my delegates have been the same delegates every year. These people have supported me from day one. So how many these were going to vote for Bill Barry? Not one. And this is an example of all around, all the districts around, the way it's done, right? That the incumbent there is the one that is running associations, and they vote how they say. So Bill Barry was a smart man. He did the right thing. He saved his money and he got out, because he never had a prayer in the world.
Yeah, but I guess when it comes to the in-house decisions made by any party, I think, when people say the fix is in, I think that's also some exaggeration too. I mean, that's the way it goes inside people's own political parties, is that they decide who they want to lead, regardless of what the Liberals or the NDP want to be the leader of the PCs. They'll do exactly as they see fit. If the party brass think they want Frank Coleman, sure, full well what's going to happen. They're going to get Frank Coleman.
Yes, that's exactly right, Joe. So why would Mr. Barry stay in and waste his money? I go back to it as like there's two fish plants going in Last Sea. Bill Barry's going to get one, and Coleman's going to get one, but Coleman's going to be financed 90% by the government. Bill Barry got to do it on his own. So that's the same.
Been an awful lot of government money head towards the fishery.
Yeah,
that's
but anyway,
for sure. Anyway, go ahead, sir.
Yeah. The other thing about, you had Tom Marshall on the other day talking about Muskrat Falls and different things altogether. And I mean, I had a job to stop from throwing up, right? I mean, Tom Marshall, Tom Marshall, a man I've had an awful lot of respect for. I knew his father before ever I knew Tom. And I can't believe that he actually believes what he's saying. I can't believe it.
On what front? What exactly?
Well, he's talking about all the money we're going to get from Muskrat Falls, right? I mean, even now, starting up a heritage fund and all this kind of stuff, how the money we're going to get from Muskrat Falls. Where are we going to get the money from? Because, it's going to take 50 years or more before the thing is paid off. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Well, it's financed for 50 years or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, there's not going to be any profit come from for 50 years, right?
Well,
we're going to be paying for exactly what it costs to operate that plant, plus the fact that we are manufacturing power to sell at a loss.
Well, I guess, every time I go to speak to all these things, all of a sudden I'm an Alcor man. If the dam is being built, I was going to say the dam. If the dam is being built to generate power for the people of the province, so we can't use it all, we got to do something with it. We either spill it or we sell it. So the subsidy issue, I don't know if that's a fair term that we use for subsidy. So the ratepayers of Newfoundland and Labrador are going to repay that investment 100% plus interest. The power sold, my problem with that is I'd rather sell it than just not use it at all. But that money is just going back to the government as opposed to help me with my bill, which I think is where it firmly belongs.
Yeah, but the problem is that we don't need that power. There's other ways to get power in Newfoundland and Labrador, right? If you look at, you had Jerry on about wind power, I think a couple of days ago, right? And if you go back to, we got two wind farms now in the province. One at Fermuse and one at St. Lawrence. They supply 54 megawatts of power, each one of them, right? Or no, 27 each and 54.
Yeah, he was talking about 700 megawatts.
Yeah,
So.
and anyway, when we had the blackout, Cathy Donnerdale was on the radio and said only for the wind farms we wouldn't be much worse, right? And then shortly after that, when they started raising power again, that Don Daly come out from Newfoundland Harbour, Ohio, and said that we got through this because of the wind farms. Now, if the wind farms are that important, why have we only got 18 in the province? Why haven't we got 90? 90 wind farms would supply all the power that we need on the island. And I know you came out, you questioned Jerry, well, there's times when it's not blowing. There has been a day this winter when them wind turbines were shut down because of lack of wind, not one day.
I don't think I asked him that, but that is part of the problem, and also part of the problem with the turbines is when it's blown too hard they can't operate. So they never will and cannot be the primary source of power, but they absolutely can be a complementary or secondary source. There's no doubt about it, and I guarantee you we'll have major wind farms in this province. Now, if that means that people chose hydro over wind or gas or anything else, then that's a fair comment. But we will develop the gas. We will have wind farms, including off on the west coast of the island, whether it be Beatic Energy or someone else, and we'll have them here on the Avalon too. You just know we will.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw the last of Nova Scotia, well. No, but I mean, you know, it don't make sense to me that, I mean, we got all this wind power in Newfoundland, I mean, and we're not using it. And I mean, these two wind energies in St. Lawrence and for Mews, as far as I can understand, that's not owned by the government, it's owned by private organizations that sell the power to the grid and don't cost the government nothing, right? And I mean, we could have had all this wind power on the island, and Muskrat Falls was supposed to be to get rid of Oldroot. That's what it was supposed to be for.
It's one of the reasons, yeah.
Yes, but I mean, if we had all these wind power on the island, if you never got no wind and the things were down, then you could start up Oldroot and pick it up for a day or two or whatever the case may be, right? But in my opinion, there was never enough thought put into it. This was Danny's project from the start, and we're going to go through hell or high water.
Well, that's the way it's going to go now. It doesn't seem like there's a political stop coming anytime soon, given the fact the Liberals have said it's just going to happen, and the project now has to be, under intense scrutiny and oversight, and that much I think we all agree with. Wilfred, I'm off to the break, my friend, but you stay in touch at your convenience.
Okay, thanks a lot for having me on.
All the best, sir. Bye-bye.